Year 3, welcome back. Before we start, I just want to say well done for all the hard work you've been doing at home. I know it's very strange working at home, but you've all been doing really well. And I hope you have a lovely half term and manage to spend lots of lovely time with your family, and hopefully the weather will be nice and you can spend lots of time outside in your gardens or going for walks. Okay, so today you are going to be using your plans that you did yesterday to write your poem. So I'm going to share with you my poem that I have written, and we're just going to go over the structure one more time so that you write it in the right way, and then you can get started on writing your poem. Okay, so this is my poem based on Joseph Coelho's Not Just for Christmas, and mine is about a bike. I've got a new bike, all shiny and new. I run home from school just to ride my blue. I've got a new bike. When people are in my way, I ring the bell. I cycled through a hedge. I hope my brother won't tell. I've got a new bike. I found myself cycling towards a lake. I was getting faster and faster. Good job my dad tested my brakes. I've got a new bike, all bells and whistles. I take it on adventures, rolling through the thistles. Okay, so we just need to have a look at the structure of this poem again to make sure you write it in the same way. So if you look at each verse, there are 4 lines. Now the first line of every verse starts with I've got a new, and then whatever you've got a new something of, okay? So that's your first line. So then you've only got 3 more lines in a verse. Now, the line number 2 must end in a word that you are going to rhyme with on line number 4. So it's line 2 and line 4 that rhyme. You must also think about the syllables in each line. So they all have roughly the same amount of syllables. So let's have a look. We've got all wrinkles in snout. I run home from school just to take him out. Okay, so they're all roughly the same. Now you might have noticed in my poem that one of my lines was too long, it had too many syllables, so it didn't really flow very well. So think about your syllables and make sure each line has roughly the same number of syllables. Okay, so here is mine. You can see that I've started each line with I've got a new bike. So the first line of every verse starts with that, and then each verse has got 4 lines, and line 2 and line 4 must end in a rhyming word, so it's line 2 and 4 that rhyme. And you might also notice that line number 2 in my second verse is too long, there are too many syllables. When people are in my way, I ring the bell. So that's too long, it doesn't really work in that verse, so I'd need to think about another way of rephrasing that so it still ends with bell, but there are less syllables in that line, so it flows better. Right, so hopefully you are all ready to write your poem now. You should have all your rhyming words from yesterday, and you should have decided on what you're replacing puppy with. There is a typed up version of this poem in today's worksheet. Make sure you follow the structure of it, and if you want to write 2, then you are more than welcome to write 2 poems. So when you have finished writing today's poem, you can decide which is your favourite poem over these 2 weeks. So you might have a favourite poem from this week, or you might have a favourite poem that you did with Miss Tiernan last week. And I would like you to write this in your neatest handwriting and maybe do an illustration on the side, so a drawing next to it. And then I would like you to perform it to your family. So when you perform it, maybe learn it off by heart, or if you are going to read it, make sure you use it with volume and actions, maybe add a bit of drama in there, and perform it to your family. I'm sure they would love to see it. Do share your poems with your teachers, they would love to see them. I've really enjoyed seeing some of your poems this week, they've been really lovely. And enjoy, I hope you've enjoyed these 2 weeks of poetry. Well done for all your brilliant work over this term. You've done really, really well. You should be very proud of yourselves, and have a lovely half term.